Modern life keeps teaching us that we must try harder, control more, and plan every single step tightly in order to achieve what we desire. We constantly monitor time, results, and how others respond, afraid that if we loosen our grip even a little, everything will fall apart. Yet the more we try to hold on tightly, the more exhausted we become. The more carefully we calculate, the more everything feels out of our control. It is like swimming against a strong current. The harder we struggle, the faster we lose our strength. Have you ever wondered what if the secret to success and peace is not in doing more, but in letting go a little more? What if instead of gripping everything so tightly, we learn to trust that the universe is arranging the right things for us at the exact moment we are ready? Today, let us step together into the art of surrender, allowing everything to come to us naturally, gently, and with a sense of beautiful magic. Lesson 1. The universe responds to your vibration, not your desperation. We often believe that to achieve what we want, we must put in endless effort, chase our goals relentlessly, and never allow ourselves to pause even for a moment. However, in Buddhist teachings and in the subtle workings of the universe, everything does not merely manifest from external actions, but from the vibration birthed within. Every thought, every emotion, every belief we carry creates a frequency of energy that quietly radiates into the world around us. If our hearts are calm, trusting, and aware that we are already enough, that frequency opens wide the doors for good things to flow in. We do not need to shout to be heard or run desperately to hold on to what we want. The energy of peace naturally guides the right opportunities into our lives. But when we live in fear of losing, fear of not being chosen, fear of falling behind, we fall into a state of desperation, gripping tightly onto the outcome. That energy of lack sends out a message that we are not enough, that we are afraid, and the universe simply reflects back exactly what we emit. Worry attracts more worry. Attachment blinds us to every open door, making us see only the ones that are closed. Sometimes we think that trying harder will bring us closer to our dream, but in truth, our tension only pushes it further away because our hearts are too tightly clenched. So take a moment and ask yourself, what frequency am I vibrating on right now? Am I sending out the message that I am whole, or that I am unworthy? Am I trusting that the good will arrive at the perfect time, or am I afraid it will never come? The answer lies in the feeling you are carrying at this very moment. When you shift your vibration from lack to fullness, from fear to trust, from tension to ease, you will see the things you once chased begin to return naturally. You will no longer need to pursue. You only need to align your heart with the energy of peace and gratitude. Then everything you have been waiting for will arrive quietly, and all your heart has to do is open and receive. The universe always listens to what you feel in silence, and it will always return what your soul is truly calling for. Lesson 2. The more you try to control, the more you block life's flow. We have all felt this at some point. If we do not check everything, something will go wrong. If we do not hold on tightly, what we want will slip away. We plan every detail, worry about every possible outcome, try to predict the future, and force life to follow the path we believe is best. Yet the tighter we hold on, the more tension fills our hearts. The more we try to control everything, the more powerless and exhausted we feel. Imagine holding an object in your hand. The tighter you squeeze it, the more your palm hurts, and eventually, you cannot even feel what you are holding anymore. Life is the same. When we cling to the outcome, we lose the ability to enjoy and receive the good that may already be coming to us in a completely different way. In the teachings of the Buddha, attachment is the root of suffering. When the heart is filled with fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of not being loved, we try to keep everything under control. Fear makes our energy shrink, leaving no space for anything new to enter. We become the guard of the very cage we built for ourselves. Everything must go according to plan, according to expectation, according to the script in our minds. And when it does not, panic rises instantly. However, letting go does not mean giving up or being careless. Conscious action means doing our part with dedication and sincerity, then allowing life to take care of the rest. Pathological control is when we interfere in the part that belongs to the universe, demanding that every outcome must follow our exact idea. If what we want to learn how to release gently, start with small practices. Ask yourself, what is truly in my control? What is not? What can I loosen today so my heart can breathe easier? Maybe it is as simple as not checking messages constantly, or stopping the repeated negative scenario playing over and over in your mind. Letting go does not weaken us. On the contrary, letting go opens the door for what we have been seeking all along. You do not lose your strength when you release. You simply stop blocking the flow of good things already trying to reach you. When you finally open your hand, you will see that life has always been working with you, not against you. Lesson 3. Silence is where the universe whispers to you. Have you ever noticed that the moments when you feel the most confused, anxious, or lost are also the moments when your mind is the loudest? We live in a world that constantly demands immediate reactions, phones vibrating, messages popping up, social media calling for our attention. Everything pushes us to respond, decide, and express our opinions right away. But the more we rush to react, the further we drift from the voice within. The mind is like a lake. When the water is still, we can see clearly to the bottom and admire all the beauty underneath. But when the waves rise wildly, everything becomes chaotic and unclear. It is within that chaos that we lose access to our inherent inner wisdom. In Buddhism, silence is not an escape. Silence is a return. When we are silent, we pause the turbulence happening inside our minds. We allow ourselves to truly listen, to listen to our own breath, to listen to the emotions that have long been waiting to speak, to listen to the gentle signals the universe is always sending our way. Often, the answer we seek does not come from outside, nor from someone else's advice, but from the quiet space we have never allowed ourselves to enter. Silence is also a powerful form of communication. We do not always need to win, to prove ourselves right, or to respond to every provocation. Sometimes choosing silence is the way to protect the deepest peace in our hearts. Not because we are weak, but because we are strong enough not to let the ego drag us into pointless battles. You can begin with a very simple practice. Spend 3 minutes each day sitting quietly, without looking at screens, without music, just breathing and observing your mind. When you feel the urge to react immediately to someone's words or an event, pause for 3 breaths before responding. That small pause can change the situation and transform you. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is a gift that allows the mind to return to its most natural state. In silence, we do not lose anything. On the contrary, we begin to see what the waves of emotion once covered. The universe is always whispering to you. You only need to be silent enough to hear its gentle voice. Lesson 4. Trust the timing of your life. In life, every one of us has experienced moments when we look at others and wonder why they seem to receive what we desire so easily and at the perfect time. Meanwhile, we feel like we are always waiting for an opportunity, waiting for love, waiting for a change. And when the waiting becomes too long, doubt begins to rise. We start questioning ourselves. Am I not good enough? Am I not worthy? Is life turning its back on me? But in the eyes of the Buddha, everything that comes and goes follows the law of conditions and timing. No flower ever blooms just because we want it to bloom right now. Flowers bloom when the soil is warm enough, when the sun is bright enough, when the wind is gentle enough, and when the flower itself is ready. We are just like a seed. We can nourish ourselves, learn, grow, cultivate kindness through our actions and thoughts. That is our part. But when the seed becomes a flower, how it blooms and at what moment it blooms, that belongs to nature, to the universe. If we force the petals open before their time, they will tear. If we become impatient and demand instant results, we end up hurting ourselves. Much of our suffering comes from trying to make life fit the schedule we created in our minds. We want achievements now. We want love now. We want recognition now. And the moment these things have not yet arrived, we quickly conclude that we are lacking. But sometimes things have not come, not because we are unworthy, but because the conditions are not yet complete. There are wounds that still need healing, lessons we still need to learn, and inner strength that still needs to grow. Waiting can be a precious gift. It gives us time to refine who we are and to become truly ready for the moment when the right door finally opens. Ask yourself, what I call late could actually be the perfect rhythm for my inner growth. If I truly believe that the universe is never late, how would I choose to live today? When we appreciate the present moment and do our part with sincerity, time stops being an enemy. Trusting the timing of life does not mean waiting in despair. It means moving forward each day with peace, knowing that what is meant for you will come at the right time, not earlier and not later. Lesson 5. You attract what you believe you deserve. In this life, what causes us suffering is not only what happens on the outside, but also how we perceive ourselves on the inside. In Buddhist teachings, the mind is the root of all conditions. Every belief we hold about ourselves is like a seed we plant into our lives. If that seed is the belief that we deserve love, peace, and success, we will naturally act and choose in ways that lead us toward those good things. But if deep inside there is still a whisper saying, I am not good enough, I am not beautiful enough, I am not worthy of love, I will probably fail, then we will unconsciously repeat experiences that hurt us and reinforce those fears as if they were true. The universe does not respond to the words we speak with our lips. The universe responds to the feelings we hold deep within our hearts. A person who believes they are worthy of peace will seek relationships that respect them and avoid environments that drain them. They move toward what nourishes the soul. On the other hand, someone who believes they are only made for chaos will walk into painful love stories, exhausting jobs, and repeating cycles of heartbreak again and again. So instead of demanding that life must bring us good things, let us begin by healing the way we view ourselves. Write down 3 old beliefs that have been holding you back. Then transform them into 3 new affirmations that are gentle yet strong, like, I deserve inner peace. I open my heart to receive the good that is coming. I am valuable and I am growing every day. When we truly believe that we are worthy, we no longer need to chase to prove ourselves. We live as someone who is already enough, and that energy is what opens the right doors. The opportunities that fit us will naturally find their way. Who we are becoming inside will always reflect into the reality we experience outside. Begin nurturing the belief that you are deserving, and soon you will see that life also begins to treat you as someone who truly is. Lesson 6. Calmness is a manifestation in itself. We are often taught that if we want success, we must always move faster, work harder, stay tense, and never stand still. Society praises busyness as a measure of a person's worth. Yet the paradox is that the more we chase, the more exhausted we become. The more we fear losing, the more we attract problems and instability into our lives. Meanwhile, Buddhism reveals a very simple truth. Peace is not the reward at the end of the road. Peace is the road itself. Peace does not come only after we have achieved every goal or reached every standard. Peace can begin today, right now, the moment we choose not to let our minds be swept away by the waves of greed, anger, or ignorance. See calmness as a magnetic field. When your heart becomes still, you can clearly see what needs to be done. You make wiser decisions because you are not acting from panic or pressure. Your relationships become more harmonious because you are no longer reacting impulsively. Opportunities come more naturally because you are no longer radiating urgency or lack. You walk with life instead of fighting against it. You trust that what is meant for you will arrive at the right time and in the right way. The problem is, we often treat peace as something luxurious. We allow ourselves to rest only when all tasks are done. We allow ourselves to feel at ease only when results are perfect. We allow ourselves to smile only when nothing is wrong. But if we save peace until the very end, how will we have the energy left to enjoy what we worked for? Peace must be a standard we choose every day, not a rare prize granted only at the finish line. Practice something small. Before making any decision or when anxiety rises, ask yourself, if I were the calmest version of myself, what would I choose? And every day, do one action purely to nourish your inner stillness, not for productivity or achievement. When you choose calmness, you are sending a powerful message to the universe. I trust. I no longer need to rush or panic. And in that very moment, all the good things have a greater chance to come closer to you than ever before. We have just traveled through a meaningful journey together. From the moments when we tried to control everything until we were exhausted, from the panic that rises when life does not follow our expectations, to the realization that the universe always responds to the vibration within us. When we learn to pause, to listen to the silence, to trust timing, to believe in our own worth, and to choose calmness as the foundation of our lives, we begin to feel the magic already unfolding. The universe has never turned its back on us. The universe is always working with us through the beliefs we hold and the energy we nurture every day. You do not become weaker when you loosen your grip. You become aligned with a greater flow. Remember this beautiful truth. Peace is not something we receive only when everything is done. Peace is the way we walk with the universe. When you stop chasing, what is meant for you will begin to find you. Right now, take a deep breath and remind yourself, everything I need is already on its way to me. If you want to continue this journey of letting go, trusting, and living gently each day, please subscribe and walk beside us. May peace always be within you.